Good afternoon. It's good to be here. So, my name is Brian, as I was introduced. I'm charge of global business dev at GAMEVIL. So my topic today is serving a global audience. I'll be speaking out of our knowledge, our experience in developing game development, developing mobile games globally, and service the games throughout the market. So let me just briefly explain about GameVille. We are a company established back in 2000. Our core core business is mobile game development and publishing. Our HQ is in Korea. We have a global location in LA, Tokyo, and Beijing. Those branches are purely localization, marketing, and promotion events. We cover both iOS and Android platform. So far, we have 260 million worldwide download base. We are accumulating more than 20 million per month. So this is a question I hear a lot nowadays from my industry colleagues. Is there any rule of thumb to become a popular game in the world? Because I think this issue is hot because there are a lot of handful of games, same games sitting in the top charts, especially top grossing charts. Even though we think that the smartphone game market is growing bigger and bigger, still I don't think there are no right or wrong answer. I think everyone should try hard to make a success. So I'll just show you some of the experience that we had before. So there are many markets in the world, but two really stand out. One is Apple App Store, the other is Google Play. And every game wants to be successful. But the thing is, there are so many markets, and there are so many countries to cover, and so many languages to cover. It is obvious that you cannot cover all the languages and markets. At the same time, there's no guarantee that your game will be well received in every market. Then what you should do? I think you should try with the market you know the best. I mean, we are in Asia. I mean, GameVille is a Korean company. I think you should start the market that you know the best. A lot of Asian developers, Chinese, Japanese, Korean developers, they want to launch their first game big in the Western market, but I don't think that is a little bit nonsense. So if you take a look at Asia, there are three big markets: Korea, China, and Japan. It'll be four if you add Taiwan, but let's just settle with three. And of course, each market has their own challenges, but we are in a better position than Western developers because we know the culture. If you are not from these three countries, Korea, China, or Japan, you could start with the traditional Chinese-speaking territories. I mean, you could learn enough data from those countries too. You could also add English from the start to get the feel or the feedbacks from Western gamers, but you should start focus on your local markets. So once you have experience in success, you'll be more confident in expanding to other markets. The screenshot you see, this is one of the games we recently launched. We offer 5 languages at start. Since we have an office in LA, we could localize into pretty well English. So we offer English, Korean, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, and Japanese. All localization is done within the company, and our foreign offices are doing the same job. And once you see the good numbers or demands from other markets like Europe or Southeast Asia, then we consider adding more languages to the game. Thing is, once you release the game, you never know which market or country will bring better performance. These are some of the downloads breakdown of our games. Game A, Game B, and C. As you could see, I'm not sure you could see the small font of country names, but Game A has big chunk of download from USA because we have a game in English. And the second is Taiwan, Japan, Germany, Brazil, Russia. Second, Game B, USA, Taiwan, Thailand, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Singapore. Game C, USA, Germany, Thailand, Taiwan, China, Malaysia, Russia. So these are, as you can see, there are a number of Asian countries who are driving, a lot of not a lot of downloads, but enough downloads for you to focus on. And I was thinking just by looking at this data, we have to consider adding Thai and Russia and German to the game, so that we could be more adaptable to the market. And right. And data-driven operation. I'm not speaking of each individual games, but I'll be, this is the data I got from Albany back in January 2013, January this year. As you can see, this is the figure of the net revenue per monthly downloads. As you can see, there are a number of Asian countries sitting in the top list. Japan, South Korea, Australia, Singapore, Hong Kong. So, sorry, I'll just cut it. Right. There may be more downloads from North America and Europe, but you can make decent revenue if you focus on to these countries to monetize. China is not up there because China is a different story, but a lot of games in China doesn't monetize well, but one of our RPG titles is making close to US dollar per download in the market, and for the Apple App Store. And not to mention there are a lot of downloads in the market too. So if I might add, for China market, there's no Google Play Store. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about it, but you need to work with local partner to you gotta work with right partner to drive more revenue, because they will advise you in terms of UI, game balance, pricing, and so forth. The next topic I wanted to cover is social platform. Could say social messaging platform with Game Center built in. Number of social platform for games emerged recently, like last year or two. There are 4 examples that I show here: Kakao, Line, Facebook, and WeChat. I'm pretty sure everybody knows well about them. But Kakao is a Korean-born. It's a messaging app with Game Center built in. The business model is channeling, so you service the game under your brand. Line is a little bit different. It's a messaging app also with Game Center, but it's a publishing business model. So once Line selects your game, then Line will be submitting your game under their brand. Facebook is obviously global social network service with social integration. They don't have a game center; they have an app center. But I do know and witnessed that Facebook is moving very aggressively into mobile industry. WeChat by Tencent is a messaging app. There's always already rumors that Game Center will be coming soon, but it's not there yet. So here's an example of Kakao game. This is one of our games called Air Penguin Friends. We took the existing Air Penguin brand and ported it into Kakao platform. I don't have 2 screenshots here, but once you start a game, you will see the Kakao authentication. Then first game screen you see is the rankings among you and your friends. And once you can play along, the first screenshot you can see is bragging. Next one is inviting, and the third one is character upgrading. So it gives a sense of how you need to interact with other gamers or utilizing your friends list. So that was an example. So it could be different among games, but here are some of common features in game design for social platforms. First is share the score achievement. The Kakao and Line, they could send individual message to individual friends. I'm not sure if Facebook does, but Facebook you could post on the wall, but you cannot yet send the personal or individual message to each friend you have. Secondly, receive gifts. The hearts, you could send and receive hearts or items. Third is invite friends to play together. Fourth is brag. and challenge friends. A lot of games in those platforms send you push notification stating if other friends have higher score than you, then you will receive the push notification so that it kind of motivates you to come and play more. Competition and ranking. There are a lot of forms of competition you could have in the game. A lot of Kakao games have weekly tournaments. The tournament resets every Sunday. Or if you could see like Candy Crush, for example, you could see where your friends are at. Then you could compare, or you could play more to beat them. So these are some of the features that you should consider when developing games for social platform. Before I forget again, the Kakao and Line, you have to submit the game for their approval. Otherwise, you are not going to be able to service the game on their channels. Next one is operation. This is the example screenshot of one of our games. We have a fishing game we operate globally. When you run an event, you don't want to send the same message or same assets to users in different countries. We had the experience that we had an event to catch a fish with a certain Korean name. It was fun for Korean users, but it was nonsense for other country users. So we decided to have an event which could apply to globally. But as you could see, with the same event, you need to have different banners for each market so that the other country users will be more attracted to come and play more. Also, when you run an event, you could consider the global holidays or global special days, at least in most of the countries, like New Year holidays or Christmas. At the bottom one is the one screenshot that we ran for the Korean New Year Day. At the same time, when you run a market-specific event, you have to be careful that you don't want to show this asset to players in the USA. Communication. We are utilizing all possible channels as possible to communicate with other users. So we have a Facebook page, Twitter account, YouTube page. Recently, we opened our China Weibo account. It is kind of a little bit burden to talk to every users who comment us or ask question to us, but it'll be more worthwhile than doing nothing. I put up these slides because Korean gamers are unique in a way. They require more intimate care. So left screen is our own forum that we run under big portal in Korea. The right one is GAMEVIL in a custom center for internet online customer service board. At the same time, we have the call center with handful of people who need to receive or talk to people who actually call us. We are trying to drive that traffic to online, but it must be the characters of Koreans that it's not easy to do. Another operation is the cross promotion and driving new downloads. I'm also pretty sure that a lot of people know about it, that you could set the game language based on the user's OS language for both iPhones and Android handsets. So we try to push out whenever we have a new game out, we try to push out the news banner or small news banner or push notification for their native tongue, so that they be more familiar with the message they receive. So you see some examples that the English, Japanese, and Spanish and Chinese. Also, we send out push notification with the same manner, so that once the users in Spanish-speaking territory, they will receive their text message in Spanish. I went pretty quick, but to summarize, if you are a developer located in Asia, I'll recommend three things. Start and focus on the market you know the best. Don't try to do everything from the start, and don't try to rule the Western or European market at your first game. You gotta be patient and make the success story in your market first, then you'll be in good position. Second is maximize the usage of social platform. I know it's not easy, especially for if you are not a Korean-born or Japanese-born company, but if you have a good enough game, talk to local partner in Korea, Japan, or China. They will help you out. At the same time, the Facebook, I think for the Western market or for European market, the Facebook will play a crucial role in mobile game industry. Lastly, you got to analyze and respond quickly to global audience. I don't mean you have to talk to them every day or every single time they have a question on Facebook or Twitter, but you need to listen to them what they say. So also it's up to you to either update the game or build a new game based on their feedback. But I think the listening to the global audience is the last thing that you have to do. So that's pretty much about it. Okay, thank you.